Pupil Power protest march in Paris. And be at the Big Bash with Billy. Hello, and first to amazing scenes in France where 250,000 young people have taken to the streets to protest about the state of their schools. They want extra teachers, less homework and more money spent on equipment. School pupils have been marching across the whole of the country today with the largest demonstration in the capital, Paris. Chris has been following events there all day for Newsround. Chris, it looks like a huge protest.
It certainly is. In fact, it's the second large-scale protest in just a few days as more and more students seem to be joining what's now become a nationwide movement for a better education. They are chanting, "Schools must change." They are demanding the government to take action. Despite promises of change being made by the government, some 45,000 pupils turned out on the streets of Paris, joined by teachers and parents.
In my class we're 50 and we don't have any teachers, we don't have any money. There are a lot of problems with violence.
We want more teachers and more money and more classes for today.
There are too many students in classroom and not enough teachers.
Altogether, 250,000 students have refused to go to school today and joined a wave of protests countrywide. But the attention has been focused on Paris, where it was feared that the protests here could lead to violent rioting. In the second week of such protests, the French capital has prepared itself for the worst. Although most of the students are here for a peaceful demonstration, they're coming face to face with a strong police presence. They're on the lookout for troublemakers. Some 5,000 officers have been posted in the city, 3 times as many as there were last Thursday when students vandalized cars and looted shops. The police branded them as troublemakers, not real protesters. Today there was some disturbances and some arrests, but nothing on the scale of last week. The Education Minister has promised more teachers, improved conditions in schools, and will look at the possibility of reducing pupils' workloads. But many of the students just don't believe him.
So Chris, what's the mood like on the march?
Well, it was a bit like a party atmosphere, actually, Kate. A lot of children having fun, and it's meant to be a peaceful protest. There was some trouble today, as I said in the report. The police seemed to dive in, and a lot of the students scatter and then join up again and carry on with the march. But it was very peaceful most of the time, and very party-like, actually.
What's triggered the action today?
Well, today was a very important day for the protest to take place. It couldn't have come at a better time because tomorrow the French government will be meeting to discuss the education budget. They're going to decide how they're going to spend money on the education system in France in the future.
How likely are they to get the money and the improvements that they want?
Well, they're not likely to get everything that they want, but the protests have provoked some reaction from the government. They've pledged to spend more money on the education system. Obviously, how they spend that money will be announced tomorrow.
So, Chris, you've been there today. Do you think that this kind of thing could ever happen in Britain?
Well, do you? I mean, protests do happen in Britain. There's nothing illegal about it. But they're very common in France. It's almost a way of life. You have the famous truck drivers' protests, which seem to happen every now and then, causing massive disruption. Air traffic controllers in France like to have their annual protest every now and then. They are very much a way of life here, so they're not unusual. But, I mean, it could happen in Britain. Who knows?
Chris, thanks very much. Time for more news, and American boxing star Mike Tyson, banned over a year ago after biting the ear of an opponent, has got his fighting licence back. 48-year-old former champion Joe Buckner wants to be the first to meet Tyson in the ring. Hungry rats and mice in Birmingham are giving pest controllers a run for their money. After years of eating fast food leftovers, they don't like the usual rat poison anymore, so experts have now developed a tastier version. And the biggest film of all time, Titanic, looks set to cruise into the record books by being the most successful video release ever. Video shops say they've been swamped by demand since it went on sale yesterday. Now, ever wanted a taste of showbiz? Well, here's your chance. This month's Press Pack assignment is your opportunity to meet Billy. If you're chosen, you get to go backstage with her at this year's Big Bash. And if you didn't know, that's the CBBC event of the year.